Alright, so this is my E3 damage report. So first on the agenda, we've got the Xbox One. This is kind of just a real quick, this is just kind of a bullet point kind of rant, explanation, whatever. I've had to mess with the video on this a couple times, so this will be recording, I don't know, number 3. But that's kind of why it's taken me so long to get this out, because having to work and then, you know, spending time with people, it's just not easy to pull off something kind of like this. This required a decent amount of research. But this is all kind of the stuff that interested me and stuff that I think kind of needed to be talked about. Xbox One. The Expo. So, first off, games, exclusives. We've got Forza 5, Halo 4, Killer Instinct, and there might be a few others. I wasn't, you know, those are the only ones that really kind of made it, kind of popped out at me. Forza 5 looks fucking awesome. I love racing sims. I love racing games in general. Real big fan of the genre. Halo, I'm a huge fan of Halo 2. Halo as well. Actually, not Halo 2. I grew up, I was in high school when I first got my Xbox. Like, it had just came out. And, I got the original Halo and loved it. It made me realize why I love first-person shooters so much, because I'd grown up playing Doom and Quake 3, Arena, Unreal Tournament, and so it made me love the console shooter. The Halo TV series that they announced a while back actually sounds kind of awesome. I kind of like Forward Unto Dawn. I thought that was pretty cool. And then Killer Instinct, man, like, way to bring it back. Too bad that Microsoft has been doing all sorts of anti-consumer measures and all sorts of ridiculous shit. So they're probably gonna nickel and dime you for every single character. Like, they may add a few, like, new characters, and then let's say to get Fulgor, you have to drop, like, $1, 80 Microsoft points, why not? To get Glacius, again, another $1, why not? It just sounds fucking ridiculous. Oh yeah, and sports, bro. Don't forget about the sports. Yeah, bro. Let's get on that bro box and get some fucking sports going on. Dead Rising 3. Dead Rising 3, it doesn't look as goofy as it used to, and I don't know how I feel about that. I really kind of like the weird, quirky, kind of Japanese styling of Dead Rising and kind of their take on the zombie genre. And now it seems like that they're kind of going towards the path of, like, Walking Dead, trying to be just more edgy rather than entertaining. And I think that's what a lot of these Japanese guys have forgotten how to do, is to entertain. Let's see here. There are no models that come with a second controller that I've found so far as of June 17th. Yeah, this is a few days after the wrap up. I've been really busy, but as of June 17th, there is no offerings of a second controller for the Xbox One. It's kind of sad, especially with the failure rate of these things. I know I've gone through in my lifetime probably somewhere upwards to 6 Xbox 360 controllers. And I've only ever gone through 2 original Xbox controllers. Because I had a Duke, and that didn't even break. I just got a Nikon Airflow controller, because those are fucking badass. Let's see here. Then, yeah, it looks like Microsoft is killing the, it's just straight up killing the couch multiplayer. That's it. That's all it's doing. Sayonara, guys. So, on to the PlayStation 4. They kind of came out and fucking killed it. Like, they just straight up, Microsoft, just like, hey, you know, we've everything that those guys are doing, not here, not in this booth. But they also kind of didn't really talk about some of the other stuff that they're not giving us. So I'll get on to that in a second. But I will admit that they showed a lot of kind of self-awareness. I think they're really kind of starting to realize that, hey, this is a crash. It's not coming. It's here. We're spending way too much money on these games. We're spending way too much money on this equipment, and we are not making the money back that we need to sustain all this. So they're finally learning, and they're finally kind of shaping up, which is really cool. So off the bat, they showed off the console itself. It's no longer Romulan. It's no longer stealth. That's a shout out to the 8-bit guys. But it's actually kind of cool, I have to admit. Like, yeah, there's really nothing too imaginative about a rhombus, but I don't know, it's just like the angles of it are really cool. I dig it. I do dirty stuff to it. And it's more of a PC architecture, but they really haven't released hard specs yet. That kind of bothers me a little bit, but I don't know. Whatever. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. I know for a fact it's supposed to be a lot more powerful than the Xbox One, but the Xbox One claims that it's got this whole cloud. The cloud will be able to update the hardware, because eventually you're going to start streaming everything from the cloud and gaming from the heavens. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Just like, we give you games, but they're just, the money that it takes to sustain all this is way too much, and I really don't think that, they're gonna get the buy-in that they're hoping for. So, but then again, you know, Sony's doing the exact same thing with their Gaikai system, but they're not relying on it so hard. I think that's what's more important. And that's, unfortunately, that's probably going to be what is the next step into the next generation, because the graphical upgrade isn't going to be there yet. Because both of these current gen systems, well, the Xbox 360 has definitely hit its potential, they finally maxed it out, but no one will ever be able to truly figure out how to work with the PlayStation 3. It's too complex, it's too everything for anyone to bring it to its full potential in this day and age. I bet you, like, 5-10 years down the line, someone will have some kind of homebrew system, homebrew software that, you know, fully takes advantage of it, but kind of like what the Dreamcast and the Nintendo 64 are doing right now. But I digress. The controller looks pretty cool. You know, it seems like an evolution of, you know, the DualShock. It's a little bit bigger. It's got that touchpad up top. Then that might be the way to go forward. You know, instead of having, you know, just the set buttons, you then have the touchpad that not only can be dynamic and change, like be context sensitive, or you know, just give you other commands, other buttons, you know, and so it will make it so that you can have more complex controls and complex situations going on, where, you know, would normally be perfectly suited to a PC because you've got all those different buttons mapped, but now you've got more options on your controller. So I think that's a really good way to go forward. Then we've got, let's see here, no restricted DRM, no constant online. You do not need to be online if you do not want to be. although you probably want to, at least for updates and shit like that. Like, you know, I hate to say it, but the modern gamer is going to have internet connection, and so I really don't blame the Xbox One for, at least for them thinking like, you know, it's not a big deal, because really for anyone who is going to go out of their way to purchase such a thing, like, especially day one, they're gonna have all these things. Let's face it, you know, you have internet. You are watching me right now via the internet. So, yeah, your internet connection may suck. That happens, and that's what I'm kind of like shaking my finger at this for. Is, you know, not everyone has a slick as shit internet connection. So, and then also there is no used game anything. No, I mean, they'll probably, Sony first party has done the online pass, and they've been doing that for a while so that they can, you know, make sure that they're getting their money. So I really can't blame them for that. And I really like that little cute video that they showed, where it's just this is how you share games on the PlayStation 4, and it's just, you know, just hands the dude the game. It's like, here you go. Great game, by the way. Play it, Singularity. Let's see here. Let's go with PlayStation Plus is a necessity if you want to play online, but I mean, Microsoft's been doing that this current generation for the entire time. So I can't blame them for following a system that works, especially in a time where they need money. So I'll leave that where it is. The PS3 will still be free online, and the PS3 seems to be still supported and is going to be supported for quite some time. So you know, if you are planning on buying a PS4 day one, I think there is a good chance that you will already have a PS3, and they've actually made it cheap enough that if you save up for it, you don't need to trade in your system. Keep it. Hang on to your PS3s if you got them, because they're almost as solid as, you know, a PlayStation 2. Almost. I've had quite a lot of bad luck with PlayStation 2s in my life, so everyone wants to say, oh man, it's so reliable. Yeah, sure it is. Mine never were. Games. I did not get onto the, what they're not giving you. No backwards compatibility. At all. Not even emulation like the Xbox 360, not even PlayStation 1 games, not PlayStation 2 games, sure as fuck not PlayStation 3. Well, actually, they might do the PS3 via the Gaikai, but they're not, you know, you're not going to be able to put your PS3 games in the system to run it. So there's none of that. But that also, I mean, it helps it bring down the cost. It's $400 for the core system, but they're not talking about system memory. Period. No one knows anything about system memory. GameStop, Amazon, none of the retailers, none of the places that are selling this thing seem to really know. So whatever. It's bullshit. Okay, so now on to games. Seems like the ones that interested me, or at least kind of noteworthy, the new Killzone, Shadowfall, I think that's the subtitle. That actually, it's nice to see it not in an industrial estate. You know, it's nice to see more colors than gray, brown, and silver, and black. Don't get me wrong, I don't really like colors, you know, to wear, but, you know, whatever. I do like, you know, I do like the occasional Bloom. You know, I like Halo. I like Neon. I like Unreal Tournament. I can't lie. Knack. That game actually looks pretty interesting in some way, shape, or form. You know, it's definitely a good child-friendly title. You know, if Dad wants to get it for, you know, himself, and then wants to have a game that his son can play on it too, you know, that seems like a pretty cool game. So it's a cool concept of little boy finds this little robot thing, and then it starts picking up pieces to make itself bigger, and with every piece that it acquires, like, it gets more powerful, or something like that. It seems like a cool concept, and I may end up checking it out once it hits the bargain bin. Then we've got Drive Club. That game looks kind of cool with this, it seems like it's a online focused racing game, because they keep talking about your club, your team, excuse me. It just got really parched, sorry. Probably just edit that out. It's very online based, and they want you to constantly be getting points for your team, your crew, you know, your drive club, and that actually kind of interests me a little bit. I would love to see an online component of, you know, a racing game that's just, I don't know, sounds really awesome. Warframe. This one's not an exclusive. These next two, Warframe and Blacklight Retribution. Warframe is actually a lot of fun. It is a really cool third-person shooter. Both of which I named are free-to-play, but, you know, with that free-to-play model sometimes comes, you know, pay to win. Blacklight, they're saying that, you know, it's not like that. Warframe, they don't really give a shit, because if you do pay the money, you get the fucking gear. It's kind of like Warframe is an RPG in which you will grind out the same levels. It's got this kind of Guild Wars style of play where the hub is massively online, and you can chat with other players and try to find, you know, new people to play with, but you can't really see them. And then once you all join a team, you start a level or a dungeon or whatever have you, and you're running through that just connected with these four people. And, you know, it's fun. It's really pretty. It's a beautiful game. The particle effects are just gorgeous. The textures are nice. It's a PC killer too. It's pretty powerful. And then there's Blacklight Retribution, and this one is kind of a tactical first-person shooter. I believe it's like up to 16 players on PC, so it'll probably only be 16 players on PlayStation. But it's pretty cool because it's like based in a near distant future, like or not distant, but like a near future where it's a little high tech, a little bit, you know, different styling than what we're used to, but like they're not using lasers. We don't see hover cars. It's just like kind of a little cyberpunky. So it's fun. I've played it a little bit. I actually had the original Blacklight Tango down on the Xbox Live Arcade. And it was a shooter. It was pretty generic, but the other one, it's I think more the same, a little generic. Whatever happens. It's not exactly a Call of Duty clone, but it's not, I don't know, not great. Then we've got Infamous, Second Son. I don't think that's slated for release. I think that's going to come out later. I love the Infamous games. They were all really cool. Well, Infamous 2 was a little meh, a little lackluster, I didn't like how black and white all the choices were. In the first one, the morality system, it kind of gave you a lot of gray, morality-wise. But in the second one, it was very black and white. Meh. Thief 4. Sounds awesome, but there's a lot of drama in the background. They don't have the original voice actor, which is a big deal. They don't have it seems like it's a little too ambitious of a project, and it took far too long to make. And I think Sony or not Sony, Squaresoft has kind of had to tighten the reins and pull the trigger on it too soon. That's really all I'll say about that. Although I do love the Thief games. There's something kind of cool about methodically waiting. You know, just moving around the levels and waiting for your character, waiting for the guards to pass by, waiting for something to happen so you can move quickly, or so you can move without being exposed. Not exactly always my cup of tea, but when I'm in the mood to play it, I will play it all day. Order 1886. Didn't really see too much about it other than that trailer that everyone saw. Steampunk 1800s and mythical beasts. Sounds pretty awesome to me. Let's see here. Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh my god, fanboys rejoice! We done? Okay. Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, new and tasty. I'm a huge fan of the Abe series. Actually, my favorite is not really an Abe's Odyssey game, but my favorite Oddworld game is Stranger's Wrath. That game was just brutal, and the story was weird and quirky, and you know what, it's cool. It's really cool. Oh yeah, the specs, I've already mentioned this, they're really murky on any kind of real solid details for both consoles. Like, I know that the Xbox has 8 cores, whatever the fuck that means. And yeah, both places that are taking pre-orders for this, they're not specifying any more than just the core package of each. The Xbox only has one, and the PlayStation only has one. And unfortunately, like, I'm not about to slap down $100 just to pre-order a core fucking model. Fuck that. Like, I want to get the one with the beefier memory. I want to get the one that, you know, comes with a second controller and an awesome game. And, you know, I want the one... I may end up actually waiting just so I can get a special console, like, you know, some kind of paint job or something. You know, that would be cool as shit to me, and it would be worth waiting. So, I digress. Where the fuck was the Vita support? You do know you need to sell these things, right? Right? Where the fuck was it? Sorry, working off the notes. So the Wii U, where were you? What happened? I know you made a huge display out of not making a press conference, not having a press conference at E3. I totally respect that. And, you know, it actually did create waves in the industry when you first announced that. But look at what happened to you. No coverage from any of the major sites. Rev3 Games did a little bit on what you had to show off because you really only had a few things to show off. You know, and I totally understand, you know, your new console is out, but you need to push this thing. You need to fucking sell it. Like, straight up, sell this thing. I don't know why anybody hasn't learned yet that Sonic is not going to move a console. You know what moves consoles? Zelda games, Metroid games, F-Zero, F-motherfucking Zero. Where the fuck is F-Zero? F-Zero. F-Zero. You know, it really did get almost no love because it got overshadowed by Sony. Sony just totally fucked it. Oh yeah, Destiny looks pretty awesome. And Tom Clancy game looks really awesome too. But I will talk about more of the ideology behind the new generation in a bit. Let me get through the Wii U. It's, you know, I totally understand that they don't have a show, a spectacle this year because Sony had all this fucking information about their new console. Microsoft wanted to show off games. And they were like, games, brah. Games, brah. Games over here, brah. Don't mind any of that other shit, brah. Just play games over here. So, you know, good on Nintendo, though, for not only, you know, realizing that they are in an economic... Well, they're not doing great. They're not doing too poorly, either. They're just not thriving. Like how they were 5-7 years ago when they launched the Wii. Sony's in a free fall, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And so good on them for recognizing where they are and scaling it back. Not spending gobs of money on these fucking press conferences that really mean nothing. All it is just a trade show, just to give us an idea of what's coming out within the next year. 2 years, 3 years, whatever. 5 years, if we're Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. So, and also good on the Wii U for just being a fucking video games console. Thank you. Video games. Please, give us more. Let's see here. There is Disney Infinity. I have to admit, that sounds fucking cool. If I was a kid, I would be all over that shit like white on rice. You get to play with your fucking favorite characters. You know they're gonna do a Star Wars one, and you know it sounds really cool. Just this open world sandbox that you know you fucking put your little figurine on, and don't get me wrong, it's like Skylanders, but it's with the Disney license, and it's fucking badass. The Deus Ex Revolution, that port, I really want to see what they do with the touchscreen. That could be really fucking cool. My only real complaint with Deus Ex was the shoehorn boss fights that made you shoot. That made you, like, actually get into heavy combat. That is the one thing that I really disliked about Deus Ex, because that was the kind of game that you were supposed to play the way that... Deus Ex was always the game that you got to play the way you wanted. If you do not want to fire a shot, then you don't have to. It's fucking beautiful. This game is so cool when it started off, but with Human Revolution, you have to get into serious combat in certain situations, and they shoehorn you into shooting. And unfortunately, the video games industry seems to think that just because the game gives you a gun, you've got to fire it. Whatever. But I am still kind of interested to see what they do with it on the Wii U. New Skylanders, 8-year-olds everywhere will be elated. New Super Mario 3D that isn't 3D. I mean, yeah, it's like 3D game, like, you're running around, but it's not on 3DS, so I don't know. Whatever. Mario's Mario. It'll still sell consoles. Mario Kart 8. Awesome. Thank you. Smash Bros. That's being developed by Namco, by the way. They did Star Fox Assault, I think? Yeah, they did Star Fox Assault, and that actually turned out pretty cool, pretty bitchin'. So, I just don't want to see, like, Hihachi or, Jin Kazama, or, like, I can't think of any other Namco fighting character, but I don't want to see random Namco characters just shoehorned in like fucking Solid Snake. God, oh my god, they jumped the shark with that one. But they do have, like, Mega Man. That's a Capcom character. But then again, it's cool that they have him in there because he's doing fuck all else. So, whatever. But the Wii Fit Trainer, I have to admit, I really like the idea of it. Because I love Nintendo's quirkiness. Like, that's why we all love Nintendo games. Because they're a little weird, they're a little nutty, they're a little different. And, I think that really does kind of bring it back around. And I'm all for it. Let's see here. The 3 Sonic games that are being exclusive to Nintendo. Well, I mean, I know Sonic doesn't sell a system, but I fucking love Sonic. I grew up on that shit. I think with this one, if they can actually pull it off, good on them, but I'm not holding my breath on this one. Every Sonic game since Sonic Adventure 2 really sucked. Really sucked. There were the GBA games, Sonic Advanced. Those were cool. Sonic Colors was fucking cool. And Sonic Generations, pretty cool. But that's like, I mean, if you count all of the Sonic Advance games, that's like 5 games out of the 20 that's been released since the Dreamcast era. So, whatever. My favorite will always be Sonic CD. Period. Sonic CD was the pinnacle of that series. Bayonetta 2 looks fucking awesome. I like the original Bayonetta. I like Platinum Studios, even though they've had a few missteps here and there. All in all, pretty talented guys. They're not afraid to take a risk, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. So keep it up. And they had a pretty decent exclusive lineup. I will admit, especially, compare it to the Xbox One. But it is what it is. Then there's Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, bitchin', whatever. more of the same, status quo, whatever. Final Fantasy 15, meh. Thank you for finally giving us Versus 13. Destiny. Game looks pretty fucking rad. Pop in, pop out, kinda, stumble across other people. Gameplay, it seems pretty awesome. It kinda seems like, Test Drive meets, Fallout or, Borderlands. It seems like that, you know, people are just kind of crowded on a server, and if you run into one another, you can start playing, or, you know, you can just kind of like in a modern MMO, like you clear out an area and then just go your separate paths. It sounds pretty awesome. The Division is doing the same thing. That kind of seems to be the way forward, in my opinion. Just a lot of casual player interaction, and I think that's really what they're going to do to push the next generation. They're trying to give you more controls, they're trying to give you more substance, because I think they're finally starting to recognize that the games industry has been so superficial or so shallow for the past 7 years. Everyone's only been focusing on graphics, and now that the graphics, I mean, if you look at all of these games and all of these demos, the actual rendered gameplay, the actual graphics itself, it's not really that much better than, you know, what a computer can do right now. And, you know, last generation, that was different. Last generation, these consoles were pushing out shit that a computer couldn't even think of, but, like, it's not much better than what a top-of-the-end PC can do right now. So, it is what it is. I think it'll be cool just to see what they will do, and I'll pick one up eventually. I'm probably gonna grab a PS4 and upgrade the shit out of my computer to keep up. So we'll see what happens. Witcher 3, awesome. I may end up doing a video, maybe a retrospective on The Witcher. I'm a huge fan of the series, but not really of what, like, the drama that came up behind it. There are allegations of The Witcher being completely plagiarized. That whole character, that whole world, as it, like, just ripped off of a Polish fiction writer. I think that's what it is. I think he's Polish. You know, fucking shame on you guys, but at the same time, it's a fucking great game. Whatever. Diablo 3. Great. Evil Within. That game looks nasty. Fucking awesome. Shinji Mikami. Give me more. And oh fucking yes. Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls motherfucking 2. Fucking dual wielding, fire and normal magic are combined, kind of like Demon Souls. The gameplay that they showed us was sick. The trailer that they showed us was sick. This game looks so good. I just hope they don't fuck the pooch on this one. Like, you know, it's really hard to follow up with a sequel, especially when they went from, like, King's Field to Demon Souls, and Demon Souls to Dark Souls. They could really take chances, but they believe it or not, they didn't really take too many chances between the jump of Demon Souls and Dark Souls. It seems like now this new one, Dark Souls 2, that's gonna be the crowning achievement to see whether or not they're going to be able to do this. So I am, oh my god, I am breaking, I am pulverizing concrete with the boner that I have for this game. That's really all I can say about how much I'm looking forward to this. I'm a little wary about the humanity system, or you know, the living system, the life system, whatever you want to call it. In Demon Souls, you have the Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, which would bring you back from spirit form to human form. In Dark Souls, you had the humanity, which would bring you from hollow to human. So I'm really wondering how they are going to play that out. And they were talking about that they wanted more of an emphasis on player invasions and player help. They didn't like how often people were staying in hollow form. They wanted people to play the game in human form more often. Like that's kind of how they wanted you to play the game. So I really kind of want to see how they fix that. I really want to see their emphasis on online PvP and PvE. I really want to see that shift focus. I thought they were going in a really good direction with the Stories of the Abyss. I thought that they were going a really good direction with the bosses. The way how aggressive they were, how they had very different and varying attacks, and how they would move in a wide area to attack a wide area. I really enjoyed the way that, you know, they would have moves that would, you know, hit behind them. So if there were two players, you know, attacking this boss will turn around, fuck up that other player, and then go back to the one it was focusing on. It's ingenious, the boss design that they had with the Artorias DLC. So I'm really hoping that they kind of go more in that direction. And I've really only extensively seen the Mirror Knight. There are a few places that really cover that well. And, you know, credit where credit's due. Game trailers did a pretty good. Their presentation sucked, but they had good coverage on it. That Mirror Knight boss looks fucking sick with the PvP aspect, kind of like the old monk in Demon Souls. But you also have to fight the boss as well as this player. Fucking awesome. So I'm, you know, I'm really looking forward to that. And if anybody cares about Dark Souls, let me know, and I will fucking talk your ear off at length, at nauseam, about this motherfucking game. I just kind of want to throw a shout out to the Hate Big guys. I really wanted to hear their opinions on this, but apparently they were having issues with Google Plus on Friday, where they were supposed to have their live stream. I just wanted to say, you need to fucking watch these guys. Hate Big podcast consists of the Sainted Magnus, Alpha Omega Sin. Those guys are like the kind of originators. They started it. They're both really fucking insightful. Magnus is British, great guy. Good taste in media. Alpha Omega Sin, probably one of the most experienced gamers I've ever seen in my entire life. His video game collection should prove it to you. If you ever watch one of his videos, you'll see it. You'll just see his fucking collection. You don't even have to try to look. Razor Fist, he is fucking hilarious. Watch him by himself as well as what he does for the podcast. This dude has a really good insight of, you know, just the shit that's been going on, and he's got a lot of shit to say that'll make you think. Whether you agree with him or not is totally different, but he's still interesting to watch. Fucking watch him. Yell Chaos. Yell Chaos is the motherfucking man. He doesn't do too much on the YouTubes, but he does a lot with these guys, the Hate guys. That's probably why, you know, all of us, we've got real lives here. We've all got jobs. We've all got shit that we do. Girlfriends, wives, whatever. So, you know, you can't blame someone for not fucking posting on their channel. But yeah, this dude's awesome. Fucking listen to him. They also have lots of guests, lots of random people coming through. Algin, Happy Console Gamer, Johnny Millennium, Afro Blue, who is from Britain. Don't really know too much about him. Silent Rob, fucking funny ass motherfucker. Follow him. Rob, fuck you, and I love you, you piece of shit. Let's see here. Kid Shayuken. I never know how to pronounce it. Shayuken. He's fucking great. Kid Shayuken. Larry Bundy Jr. Fucking hilarious. Ace Salieri reviewing a reviewer. Even though you're a dickbag, you're fucking funny, and I'm sure you're a really cool guy. And then the Manga Minx. No, I've never seen her face, but her voice is the sexiest thing I could ever think of, and I believe she's gay, so, you know, whatever. But I'll tell you what, you know, as soon as she starts spewing vitriol, my heart melts. So, fucking watch those guys, continue watching this channel. I know this was really fucking long, but it is what it is. Thank you. Trying to lead you towards the light, I'm the leader in the shadows. Peace.